Yes, yes. I don't know what it is, Jackson, but back-to-back days, I won it. So I hope you have it.
Oh, I got it.
All right. There it is. It's Balloon Party, 101 ESPN. It's driven by Munganess, St. Louis Acura, Munganess, Burkhardt, Alton Toyota. My name is Tim McKernan. That's Jackson Burkett. Jackson, what is your series of questions called today, Tuesday, July 9th, 2024?
Today, Tim, I have for the listening audience something I call Wet Hot American Piddles.
Huh. And that's a tribute to?
Wet Hot American Summer.
Which is a tribute to?
Ooh, I don't know on that.
Jeez.
Show prep?
Got to do better on show prep around here. Just got to. The days of just showing up and doing a show are
behind us.
Thank you. Paul Rudd.
Yeah.
Amy Poehler.
Elizabeth Bank.
Correct, Elizabeth Bank. Bradley Cooper.
Well, probably a really early role for Bradley Cooper.
Yeah, 2001.
Yeah.
And its budget was close to $2 million, and it brought in about $300,000.
Well, it's probably got a second life on. That was Blockbuster days. I'm sure they did well on the home rental. That's a lot of times. That seems like a home rental movie.
Wet Hot American Summer.
Yeah. Text
inbox active already. Air Comfort Service text inbox, and the YouTube chat's active. Well, this is good. Maybe on a rainy day in the St. Louis metropolitan area, people are settling in and they want to watch us. I'm wearing a Mound City shirt. You think you could pull up that Vin Scully call, or is that against the rules? I don't know how things work.
Vin Scully call of.
Do you know what the play was in which Vin Scully referenced St. Louis as the Mound City? I'm wearing the Mound City t-shirt for the however many people are watching on YouTube. I would imagine it's mainly Clayton women.
Right. I know the call is they're going wild in the Mound City.
Yes, but what play led to Vin Scully saying that line?
So it had to have been a national game, because why would Vin Scully be calling the Cardinal game otherwise? Well, I guess they could be playing the Dodgers.
You also see my hip turn, which generates that club head speed also if you're watching on YouTube.
85 NLCS?
No. Wasn't even an NLCS. Again, the hip turn. Because, again, I'm a tiny boy. But then I'm still able to hit it, a decent way. It's not far, but decent for my size.
Big Mac hitting 70?
No. Good guess.
I'm trying to think of, why Vin Scully would be calling a Cardinal game. And so either if he's playing the Dodgers or it'd be a national game. And you said it's not even an NLCS, which then makes me think the World Series is also out of play.
That's correct. I'm going to do that because that could have been a trick.
Yeah. So
I'm going to give you 5 more seconds. I have to put
the 90s are I don't know much about the 90s Cardinals, especially early 90s.
There isn't much to know outside of Greg Jeffries was an all-star in 1994, and they wore gray uniforms with red hats, and it was such a successful era that they brought it back now to have such a successful era.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm out.
Matt Adams home run, Clayton Kershaw, NLDS.
Really?
2014.
Really?
They're going wild in the Mound City. So I sit here and I sport the Mound City t-shirt. Available at tmaststeelshop.com. Yeah, they're going wild. And that was a great moment.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Matter of fact, if I were to do, this is kind of Mount Rushmore, and I apologize, but I'm just doing it off the top of my head. Greatest Cardinal hits since 2000. Freeze's home run, Freeze's triple. They're in the top 5.
Yeah.
Pujols, Lidge.
Yep.
Okay, now we're going to be put to the test, and I'm feeling like Matt Adams' home run off Kershaw's in there.
It's up there. Would Lance Berkman's double in 2011 also be up there?
I think it's got to be live.
Yeah.
Was that a double? I think that was a single, wasn't it? Or did he wind up at second because the throw came home?
They were playing no doubles defense, leaving the front.
was talking about that with Joe Buck before it happened.
So it was a single, but they were playing no doubles defense.
Why then the no doubles defense?
All right, I got the call.
Edmonds Game 6 2004. John scores in the YouTube chat. You just shipped. But then you got Rollins' home run off Roger Clemens in 2004. Now we've been put to the test.
Yachty's home run in 06.
Home run in 06. Yeah. We got so many great moments. All right, hey, take a listen.
I think this is the Vin Scully call.
Oh, I hope it is. It's Joe Buck. Well, you don't have to turn it off like it's a 2-2 happening.
The wall! It is gone!
That is electric. That is absolutely. I remember.
So good. Because if they lost that game, they go back to Dodger Stadium.
Yeah.
And it was just kind of, and I think Zach Greinke was getting the ball. And it was just kind of assumed that they were doomed. So it's that's sending. Yeah, and Kershaw has that pose so many times against the Cardinals where he's got the hands on the knees. Jackson, I believe, is doing it, although I don't think anybody can see it.
Really?
No. But this is going to lead to a lot of texts. It's going to be unfortunate. I will read them all, though.
I don't want to point my ass to the camera here. You got to pay for that.
Hot. Jackson's OnlyFans. Are you going to start promoting that now?
Yeah. No, but Kershaw often would. And also, I really disliked that 2014 Dodgers team.
What was wrong with that? Was that the one?
Adrian Gonzalez.
Yeah.
And then Puig.
Was that when Wainwright said something about Mickey Mouse?
I think
they really got into that?
Yeah,
And it was the Cardinal way thing?
Yeah. It's similar.
The Cardinals were the squares, and the Dodgers were the fun bunch.
The same thing with the Brewers in 2011, the Monsters thing, where they would do like this when they got to second base. Yeah, that was one of the very few playoff games I've ever been to in St. Louis. Was a Brewers Cardinals NLCS, probably Game 2, and that was electric.
It would have been 3, 4, or 5.
Okay,
Because
then
the
it would
Brewers
have been
had
3.
home field advantage in that series.
You're right.
Randy Wolf started that. Am I correct?
That's maybe David Freese was really good in that series
He was
too.
the NLCS MVP.
Yeah, he was sick in that series too.
Boy, it's tough now that people have sent all those in since 2000. I mean, the Freese home run and the Freese triple and the Pools home run, to me, they're insta ships.
Yeah, I think the Yachty in 06 is a great, because the Mets were so good. The Mets were so good. And you're in New York.
Send you to the World Series.
And you're in New York.
But then that means Edmonds' home run and Roland's home run in 2004 are not participating.
I can't
Well, we've been put to the test.
I can't speak to it as much because my sports conscious hadn't awoken at that point. 06 was like the first year. So like, and I didn't even see that play live. It was too late at night. I had to go to bed.
What are you talking about?
Yachty's homer in 06.
Really?
It was too late. I had to go up to my dad the next morning and say, what happened? He goes, well, Yachty got a big hit. He goes, just go watch on TV. And because I recorded it or something, and I watched it. And
oh, my God.
It was like 6 a.m., and I was going crazy.
Oh.
It was, that's a core memory.
It's
a core memory.
Great thing. I didn't know that story. I enjoyed that story.
It's a core memory for me. So, especially, like, the last thing I had in my mind was Andy Chavez robbing Roland. So, like,
devastating.
Yeah, so and then I had to go to bed.
Wow. Terry Pendleton's home run at Shea Stadium gets a vote from John Fitzgerald. That, however, I believe was 1987. Was that off of Roger McDowell, Jackson? You don't have to check. It was.
What about McDowell's Coming to America?
That's correct.
87?
Cleo McDowell.
Is that 87?
88.
88. Okay.
Arsenio Hall.
Yeah, I love Coming to America.
Your thoughts on Coming to America, 314-399-9646. Pujols' 700th home run. Nobody saw it on Apple TV. It's in the 314.
People saw it.
Holiday could have easily won the 2011 NLCS MVP.
Okay. David Freese was sick that series. I remember that vividly. He was, like, every hit he had was more than one base.
2023, Jordan Walker single up the middle.
Probably, yeah.
That's from Thanks, Dad.
Get that hit streak. Remember that.
I'm becoming a Thanks, Dad Lemming, I
Really
think.
good texts. Really good text from
I'm a great Bape auto detailing guy through and through, but I think I'm a Thanks, Dad Lemming.
Thanks, Dad's
Does
rock
Thanks,
solid.
Dad text throughout the day on 101?
Yeah, I think so. I can, yeah. Yep.
Kershaw in that pose could use a statue outside of Busch Stadium. I mean, the 2013, he had this at bat back and forth with Matt Carpenter, which eventually Carpenter won, and the Cardinals would win the series that night. That was incredible, too.
Yeah.
That was outstanding. But, yeah, I mean, there's a guy who was just so dominant in the regular season. The Cardinals would get him in the postseason.
Kershaw, his career is so wild because, like, you know, obviously so dominant, but he has no World Series. Well, I guess he had the 2020.
You don't recognize the 2020 World Series?
It's tough to say
I'm
not.
telling you, I'm sure a lot of Dodgers fans don't recognize it.
Or certainly upset that that's their one championship.
That's why I say over and over again regarding the Blues and the Cup, it couldn't have happened at a better time. You still had Doc Emmerich. You had non-bubble. Bobby Plager was still with us.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah.
It was the last one to get, so to speak.
Yeah. But maybe
for all of those things to take place.
Right. And maybe this is a St. Louis perspective on it, but I feel like Kershaw is like almost as well known for like his downfalls as he is for his greatness.
But that goes beyond his struggles with the Cardinals.
Sure.
In the postseason.
Yeah, definitely in the postseason. And then like there's the stat where like Adam Dunn hits like Willie Mays off of Clayton Kershaw for some reason, like just a pretty normal power hitter, but hits like his OBP or OPS is through the roof against Clayton Kershaw.
Sometimes
Really
there's
weird.
guys who own guys specifically for whatever reason. All right, text into the program, Air Comfort Service text line. And then, of course, the YouTube chat is very active already here this morning. 121 Friends of the Feather have gathered. It's 101 ESPN's YouTube chat. Jackson's wearing a TPC Scottsdale hat to kind of rub it in our faces that he has been beyond Kansas City, Destin, and Chicago. I haven't. Yeah. But I'm wearing a St. Louis Cardinal hat because I'm a fan.
Right. Well, it's your favorite road cap.
And a Mound City T-shirt because Vin Scully called us the Mound City, and Jackson was able to pull up the audio.
All right.
Oh, are you going to find it?
No. I can try in the break.
John Gray wants to talk about the greatest moment in balloon party history. Wow. Again, too many to limit to a Mount Rushmore.
I remember reading those hockey names, and I was laughing so hard during it that I really thought I hurt my back. I was getting close to peeing myself.
I think that was a Midnight Rider idea.
Yeah, he just brought in names
that you just.
Yeah, there was a couple in there that were you could have given me a
problem with Yzerman.
Yeah, well, I said Mario Lemieux, but you said, well, it's a long A, and I almost said Mario. Because I didn't really know what that meant.
I think that would have been offensive to Italians. I'll text my wife.
Text your wife. Oh.
Yeah, see if she can confirm that. All right, we'll take a break. This is Balloon Party, 101 ESPN. It's Blown Party 101 ESPN. Tim McKernan, Jackson Burkett with you on the program. 1 hour of midday radio magic. And Jackson has prepared wet, hot American
Piddles. Yo.
All right, let's see what we got here.
First, kind of like a hypothetical, not necessarily a hypothetical odyssey, but something that I think is germane to the 2024 season for the Cardinals. What do you think would make the Cardinals a more dangerous team and one who could shift from just get in and see what happens to maybe even the true contender? Both Arenado and Goldy getting back into the power swing, or either Michaelis or Gibson becoming a true number 2 workhorse that could create a two-headed monster on the starting staff?
The former. And I insta-ship it.
Really?
Insta-ship it.
Yeah.
And here's my reasoning, because I can tell you're surprised by that. I would imagine the majority of the audience agrees with where I'm coming from, but maybe I'm wrong. I mean, I know I'm not, but maybe I'm wrong. We know what Miles Michaelis and Kyle Gibson, especially at this point in their respective careers, what their ceilings are. And we know what Nolan Arenado and Paul Goldschmidt's ceilings are, even at this point in their careers. And while Michaelis, I think of the 4, has the larger sample size of solid performances over the last 6 weeks.
Yeah, would agree.
I still think that's probably closer to what would be an outlier than what we saw, for example, over the weekend with Arenado. Now, you're specific on power. It's not like it was a powerful weekend. We saw Goldschmidt with the solo shot, had a nice meaty four-seamer over the middle of the plate, little up yesterday that he took full advantage of and giving the Cardinals a 2-0 lead. But to me, if you give me a choice, and then what I therefore think has the higher upside for the Cardinals, it would be Arenado and Goldschmidt. And I realize them going back to top 3 in the MVP form of 2022 is probably asking a lot. But having them go back to even 80% of that gives the Cardinals a much higher ceiling than the ceiling that I think Miles Michaelis and Kyle Gibson have at this point in their career. So I get you asking the question of if one of Gibson or Michaelis can go so high so that you have them paired with Gray, who's also kind of a bit of a wide delta guy with his starts.
Yeah, he gets popped.
But I also think he has the highest ceiling of. I mean, we're having a lot of ceiling talk here. But highest ceiling of the rotation. I don't think Michaelis or Gibson are guys who all of a sudden, when October rolls around, become shutdown guys. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the Cardinals in the last. Let's go back just to 2011 and since then, and maybe I'm missing an obvious one. Have had a shutdown guy throughout the course of the postseason, and that was Chris Carpenter, I think. And please correct me if I'm wrong on that.
Certainly in 2011.
Yeah.
Not even a question.
Yeah, so, because otherwise in that postseason, La Russa was pulling Loesch, Jackson, and Garcia very quickly. Yep. Once Garcia got tagged in Game 3 of the Phillies NLDS, he was quick, and that really, I think, brought in the advent of starters getting pulled earlier in postseason games. That was kind of out of character at the time. So what you're seeing here recently with teams that have postseason success is that two-headed monster. And I just don't think on the Cardinal roster right now there is the second of the two heads. And Gray certainly could be a guy that could wind up going out there and getting lit up should that happen. Point being, Arenado and Goldschmidt, if they start going off, it would be like, holy crap, I wonder why it took this long in 2024. But Miles Michaelis going out and throwing 7 innings of 1 run or scoreless baseball, in 4 of 5 starts, that would really surprise me. Same with Kyle Gibson. What they are doing is, for the most part, and Michaelis even more so, they are keeping teams in check, but they're not necessarily dominating constantly.
Yeah.
Like, take your pick of whoever you would use as, like the Chris Carpenter example from 2011 in relative recent Cardinal history. So, I mean, Gray has been that guy at times. He just also has had a floor that has been really surprising. I don't think you see too many pitchers with Sonny Gray's track record. You'll see some younger pitchers go out there and dominant. A guy that started against the Cardinals this weekend, as a matter of fact, who just got sent down by the Nationals. DJ Hers, right?
Yeah, right.
He just got sent down.
Yeah.
You look at his game log, and one game he'll have 10 strikeouts and like a hit allowed and no earned runs.
Yeah.
And then the next game he gets lit up.
Yep.
So obviously the Nationals didn't see the consistency, and they sent him back down.
Yeah.
So I'm talking about, you're looking at it right now. Isn't
41 strikeouts and 31 innings pitched.
It's insane.
Yeah, that's nasty.
I mean, but sometimes that can happen with young guys.
Right.
The guy that the Phillies tossed against the Braves on Sunday got raked, but his previous start, he had pitched 7 innings of shutout baseball, rookie, filling in for Walker and Turnbull.
Right.
So with regard to the Cardinals, I don't think that you have a guy with the ceiling of Gray beyond Sonny Gray. But I also don't know how many guys on the roster and really around baseball can still get to it. I think Arenado and Goldschmidt can get to. I just don't know how likely it is to see that. So therefore, I would pick the Goldschmidt Arenado option because I just don't think the ceiling for Michaelis and Gibson is as high. There's my reasoning.
My answer is the same.
Okay.
I was just, the instaship was a little, but I get when you lay it out like that. The case I like is just they have such a issue with right-handed hitting, like being effective. I took a look at some of the numbers, Tim, and you got to take into account that they've faced a lot less lefties than they have righties, about 1,100 less lefties than they have righties. But the volume stats for averages, they have, well, first of all, they have only 19 home runs against lefties and 67 against righties. And then the OPS, their OPS jumps nearly 100 points when facing righties as compared to southpaws. And then when you look at some of the best teams in the NL, the Phillies and Dodgers both have better OPS stats against lefties than they do righties. So they just have a big issue with right-handed hitting. It's basically Mason Wynn and Wilson Contreras, and then when Herrera is playing well. Outside of that, it's real rough against lefties. Obviously, a lot less lefties, but if you're in a bullpen and you're managing, you're like, hey, we're going to send out lefties, because the only guys who can hit for power hit from the left side. So that's why I would say, and I understand your ceiling thing. Michaelis' ceiling at his very best is a true number 2, but that's pounding on the ceiling.
Right.
He has the blow-up games. That's why his ERA is so
But
rough.
he's been, I don't know how, I don't think too many people would say it. He's been above what you would have expected this year, in particular, as of late. All right, your thoughts on the topic, 314-399-9646. And, of course, we also have the YouTube chat where Eric Cleveland and Dan Jansen are talking it over. Even with them at MVP level, Goldy and Arenado have not produced in the playoffs. That's from Eric Cleveland.
Yeah, that's
that
small sample size for, the last time, like 2022, they only played 2 games. But you got to step up when the time is coming. You got to be ready.
And I'm telling you, one of my biggest memories outside of the debacle that was the 9th inning against the Phillies was Nolan Arenado hammering a ball that, right away off the bat, I'm like, that is gone. And then the reaction when it's caught at the warning track, and just like, how in the hell? And it wasn't like it was a super windy day. How in the hell did that not get out of the ballpark? Your thoughts, 314-399-9646, Air Comfort Service text line and the YouTube chat, 101 ESPN YouTube chat. This is Balloon Party, driven by Munganess, St. Louis Acura, Munganess, Burkhardt, Alton Toyota on 101 ESPN.
This is Action Jackson with a Sport Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. Cardinals win yesterday in Washington, final score of 6-0. They are coming home. I-70 series as they take on the Kansas City Royals tonight. First pitch at 6:45. Michael walked on the mound for the Kansas City Royals. That was their Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, an independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Welcome back. This is Balloon Party. My name's Tim McKernan. That's Jackson Burkett. And this is 101 ESPN, the 101 ESPN YouTube channel. Timothy, Michael McKernan, Jackson, Bennett Burkett with you. Jackson is in the middle of Wet Hot American Piddles.
That's right.
A series of questions that will make you ponder life's great mysteries. Jackson, question 2.
In another chapter of the seemingly endless odyssey of how we watch sports in the 21st century, the Dallas Stars have officially launched a new streaming network that will host all their games for free for the entire Dallas viewing area. The revenue will be totally ad-based, and the Stars will receive a minimum revenue guarantee as they lick the wounds of no longer having their annual money from Bailey's. Could we start to see this become more of a trend as RSN money seems to get smaller and smaller by the day? And how do you think Blues fans would react to a similar deal?
Well, I think everybody would be happy, right? Like,
I don't know.
What wouldn't you like?
It's not on linear television anymore.
Okay, but it's free.
It is free. It is free. It is totally free. It'd be ad-based.
Okay, well, you know what I'm going to do? See, you sit in your ivory tower, I've noticed.
And ponder.
Yeah. Well, you talk to other coastal elites. You being a New York guy,
right? Yeah, I get on the horn with them.
You know, my family has been in St. Louis since the 1400s.
Is that right? Indigenous.
And we don't go. We vacation. We go to West County.
Right. Yeah, the Valley.
That's right. Top golf. And so I can ask the people because I care about these people and their opinions. Mm-hmm. To me, even for those who are older, if the Blues were to say, here are all our games, they are free on this new streaming app, I would imagine that is met with a 98% approval rating. You do not think so?
I'm going to push back.
Here.
I'm going to push back a touch.
Then go ahead and push back. You don't have to telegraph the punch. Hit.
I think that the completely going off of linear TV. So if you're a Spectrum, DirecTV, whatever.
Like or dislike. That's all. Then 314-399-9646 or YouTube chat, and I see it over Jackson's head.
I think just eliminating that completely is going to annoy a lot of people. And I think then you have to download the app on your smart television. Already I can hear the groaning. And I just think that I think it would be over 75% approval, but I don't know if I'm going to be in the 90s. Yeah.
Really?
I just think the linear television.
Okay, so then what would meet with higher approval?
I think what would meet with higher approval is a hybrid model that is both linear television, whatever the channel might be, but accessible channel, and a $10 a month streaming option. A $10 a month.
You're as wrong as the day is long, Jackie Papers. That should be the name of this show, by the way.
I think for $10 a month, you could watch every single Blues game.
I'm telling you, I understand it. And I understand for you, $10 is nothing.
Right.
But for me and my people,
and people who use
hardworking people,
staycationers,
right? $10 is a lot of money with these times with inflation and everything that's gone on over the last 3 years and 6 months.
Yeah, right. Yep. Exactly.
And so for me and the hard workers around St. Louis, that $120 annually can be spent by
more fireworks.
That's right. Yeah. Actually.
Yeah. 3-pack of tank tops.
That's exactly right. And so therefore, I am telling you that without question, the free app would have more positive approval than the $10 streaming option along with the linear television option.
All right.
There isn't a doubt in my mind. I feel so strongly about this. We need the free TV, rich boy.
TV has never, ever once been, like, I guess if you have an antenna, you can get some channels. But TV, like, even if it was on linear TV, you're still paying for that. Actually paying a lot more than $10 a month when you factor everything in. The RSNs have fed your mind that these bundles are what the move is and that it's not any more money. No,
Is Jackson
nonsense.
the 46-year-old here, or is Tim? This is an obvious yes. It's from the 314.
Listen, brother. I'm on.
How do you know that's not one of our Wash U grads that's in St. Louis for the summer just to experience the
pageantry?
Thank you.
Let's just assume that's the case. First of all, if that's the case and you're out of town, you're not watching the Blues. So there's that. Dallas, it's only for the Dallas viewing area. You'd either have to purchase something else if you were outside the Dallas viewing area, or in this case, St. Louis. But listen, I would be on, like, I would love that. I think that is awesome. I'm on board.
Don't brother me, pal.
But I'm just telling you, eliminating linear TV is going to bother some people.
It will bother some people. I agree with you on that. That's why I said 98%.
Right.
And then those who write the sound off letters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know.
Our staycationers.
People will go, but it's free.
Right.
What rather would you have? It's free.
Mm-hmm. No, listen, you're preaching to the choir here. I'm all on board. I think this is what all sports should do. However, eliminating linear TV completely, not even giving an option, then people are going to be like, well, what am I paying all this money for cable for? And to my response would be, great question. You should probably get rid of it.
Couldn't agree more. You know what I did yesterday? Now I'll tell you. Because you know it's like, well, you were in your basement. You're damn right I was.
Right.
But yesterday I finally got DirecTV Stream. We had switched off. I don't know what the advertising situation is here, so I'm not going to name specific companies because I never know.
Right.
You know.
Better play it safe.
Again, I'm an employee. I'm not an employer. I don't know what it's like to be on your side of the desk.
You're a W-2.
To be in the board meetings. I'm a W-2 guy.
Yeah.
People talk about K1s. I have no idea what it means.
Yeah, is that a dog?
Exactly. Jim Belushi, K9. 1988?
I'm positive now that I don't think I've ever seen anything with Jim Belushi in it.
Really?
Yeah. His brother, yeah, but
John.
Yeah.
So I sit here and I go, I just gotta go. I've had people tell me DirecTV Stream, that's the move. So I'm gonna go ahead and do it. And I got it. And initially I was actually watching the Cardinals in Attitude on my phone. Mm-hmm. I had it on my laptop. Mm. But then I go to use the app on my television. And I'm lucky enough. You know, we did a GoFundMe, and I got a smart television.
Oh,
okay?
nice.
Yeah,
nice.
I hope that doesn't come off as a humble brag. So I have it. I got the app, and I'm using, you know, I'll go ahead and say it, my AOL account.
Nice, yeah. Well, yeah.
And my password is password. Duh.
Yeah. Well, password 1, they made you change it.
And so it's not working.
Yeah.
And I call up, and I lay in.
That's right, to some poor guy in New Delhi.
It was actually an AI chat. I still lay into this robot.
Yeah, this algorithm.
And yet they were able to fix it for me. And so now I've got it, and I'm paying for it, whatever.
Sure.
But it was such a headache with the other option, and I'm in a good place with the whole thing that I'm at peace with it. But this is how I put food on the table for my wife and my 2 boys.
Right.
Not everybody has this responsibility, this honor, actually.
That's right.
This honor to be able to work in your hometown and talk about the teams you grew up loving, not the Knicks or the Islanders or whatever Billy Joel's cheering for this week on the Hamptons at that little party you go to, and the white party.
Yeah, with Ruben.
Right.
Sixers.
I'm Cardinals Nationals on a Monday at 3 o'clock, through and through, brother.
Yeah.
And so I'm fine with it. I think, yes, some people will go, it's not on television, that sucks. But the streaming thing, I think people like you disrespect older people and their ability to adhere to new technology. And I'm not going to let you do it right here on this show. Not on a show with my name on it. No, sir.
Yeah. All right. There is so much there. First of all, I want people, I think there's a misconception going on based of just me scanning the text inbox. I'm not saying...
I don't think it's a misconception at all.
I'm not saying, and I think I want, turn up your radio here. I am not saying instead of free, people should pay $10 a month. I am not saying that. I'm saying this new model that the Dallas Stars are doing is free.
To watch their games for free.
For free, but there is no linear TV option. My contention is that if you were to offer a linear TV option and then instead of the free, being the only source, you could have a streaming service. It would just be $10 a month. I think that would be met with a higher approval rating. Okay. The numbers, like, make it 5, make it 15. It's just a small number per month to watch your favorite team.
Once again, this is just another example of how my friend from the left continues to call numbers like 5 and 15 small. And for real hardworking Americans who are trying to make a dime and a nickel turn into somehow $1 to feed their families and somehow be able to enjoy the luxuries of Cardinal baseball and Blues hockey, and for my money, the Battlehawks.
Right, yep. At the Battle Dome.
Right. This is another example of how my friend here is just so disconnected from the real working
That's what someone
men
actually
and women of St. Louis.
Someone actually texted, how disconnected from your fan base could you possibly be?
Are we giving away tickets? Well, we should. I might give some away.
Listen, I want to reiterate, because I feel like there's a misconnection here.
What's a misconnection? Misconnections in the back of the Riverfront Times, right?
Lost in translation.
Right. Bill Murray, Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah, Sofia Coppola directing. Love it. Either way, I would be totally on board with both the Cardinals and Blues moving to a streaming service like this. Count me in all day, every day. But let me paint you a little picture here.
Jackson's going to talk down to everybody again.
Let's say that, well, I'm already thinking this is going to go poorly.
Well, that should tell you something about your argument.
Let's say you and the family have made the trek down to Galveston, and you're having a lovely time, and you're like, oh, the Cardinals are playing. Let's turn on the Cardinals. Whoops. It's only for the St. Louis viewing area. Now you're going to have to get the MLB Extra Innings package, and you'll be hearkening back to me talking about $10 a month, wishing for that, because you're not going to be able to watch that game. You're going to have to pay. You're going to pony up for the MLB Extra Innings package if you want to watch in Galveston.
Why are we going to Galveston?
Well, I was just trying to think of a more proletariat vacation spot.
Why do you assume we can't go somewhere other than Galveston? I just feel like, again, that's
Corpus Christi.
Ocean, at least, nearby.
Gulf Shores.
Sure.
All right. Well, let's say you're in Gulf Shores.
Okay.
I've vacationed in Gulf Shores.
You're trying to, as a guy who goes to the Hamptons, trying to even figure out where we go to vacation.
I've been to Gulf Shores. I've never been to Galveston, but I've been to Gulf Shores, and lovely, enjoyed it. But you wouldn't be able to watch the Cardinal game. That's for sure. And then again, you'll be like, man, I wish I would have paid the $10. I will listen to Jackson, because in this streaming service that I'm building here, you can watch anywhere. You can watch anywhere. Not just the St. Louis viewing area. No. Anywhere. So do that with what you will.
That's how all great courtroom scenes end.
Yeah.
With the prosecuting attorney saying,
Yeah, so. Gotta set the tone. Listen, that's just what I'm saying. I just think that
a lot of Galveston talk in the YouTube chat now.
Charles Barkley went after him, and so I feel
went after Galveston. I thought he went after San Antonio.
No, well, yes, but the New Orleans Pelicans got eliminated in the first round of the playoffs, and as Chuck described it, they didn't even try. And so they usually say we're sending you to Cancun, but Chuck says we're sending you to Galveston. With that dirty ass beach, is what he said.
Oh my! And that's where you thought this audience vacations. That's what you're telling me. Where is Rockio? Can Tanner start early today?
I'm just painting a little picture for the listeners of what could be the case. This is just a random scenario. And maybe you're okay now watching the Redbirds. I thought you were true fans.
Gulf Shores? What fancy course is that? That's from the Waterboy. Exactly right. I know about Gulf Shores, but with you, it's always golf.
Did I say golf?
Gulf Shores. That's what the Waterboy heard.
Well, I'm pretty sure I said golf, but if I didn't, I think you can deduce.
Hey, Piddle Moneybags! How much does a loaf of bread cost? That's from Thanks, Dad. It's a classic test of political candidates to show their relatability to the American people.
Yeah. $3.50? $4? $4 for a loaf of bread?
I mean, that's a pretty wide delta.
All right, I'll go $4. Costs $4. $3.79. That's all it's saying.
$3.79. Price is right.
But are we talking multigrain? Sourdough, just Hostess white bread, bunny.
Just if we're lucky enough to have white bread, we're happy. Now all of a sudden I feel like I'm like a bread company in U City.
I've been doing a lot
Why can't this just be good old-fashioned white bread off of Highway K? It just always has to be something to let everybody know that you're just a little bit better than us, and I'm sick of it.
Here's something. Whole wheat tortillas. Nice little sub for bread. Maybe you have a hankering for a sandwich, but you're not looking at all those carbs. Whole wheat tortilla. Pretty solid.
I don't even know what a carbohydrate is. Piddles checks the prices at Straub's for his information. That's from the 618.
Great chicken
Can we give
salad.
out tickets to something else?
Great chicken salad.
This is unbelievable.
And I don't even like chicken salad. I like theirs.
$4? We don't all shop at Trader Joe's, bro.
Trader Joe's is inexpensive. Are we talking about?
Oh!
That's not like that.
Sit.
That
Sit.
like what are you talking about? Trader Joe's is inexpensive. It absolutely is. I could eat a whole meal from Trader Joe's for under $8. Find me any
Same
other
amount I have to pay to watch your Blues app.
All right, how about a flat rate of $80? You're saving $40.
If I'm lucky enough to have that, I would do it.
Okay.
But again, that's how I feed my family as a family man. Do you have children?
No.
Are you married?
No. I'm a heathen.
I'm a family man with a family plan, brother.
Yeah, you care about neighborhoods and communities.
And education.
But I'm being more inclusive. I don't know. I'm the one who's being inclusive. I'm the one who's offering a linear TV option to those who maybe aren't blessed enough to have a smart TV.
But then you're charging people who want to stream it $10 as opposed to giving it to them for free.
I know, but I'm offering linear TV. I'm giving something back. They're taking it away. I'm giving it back.
So if I'm out and about, because I'm working overnights again. If I'm out and about and I want to watch the Cardinal game on the West Coast has gone late, and I want to watch it, but the man hasn't put a television in at my place of business, and I'm just going to put up my phone, I now got to pay $10 under your system. Am I correct?
Yeah, but you can't. On the other system, sorry, it's going to be tough.
But the $10 as opposed to it being free under my plan.
Yeah, I get that. All right, I'll concede, I guess. There's no way. And you talked about working overnights, and a really underrated part of NBC's The Office is when Michael works at a call center overnight because he's leveraged because of his condo that he bought, and so the boss of this paper company has to work overnights at a call center and get laughed by some old dude. That's really funny.
It is outstanding. My wife and I are actually in the midst of rewatching The Office. Pam and Jim's wedding is what we were watching. Niagara Part 1 was what we watched last night. For the record,
I have
after I rewatched the Cardinals and Nationals.
I have 5 episodes of television bought and downloaded from my Apple account, and the Jim and Pam's Wedding, both parts, is one of them.
Wow, how about that? Big endorsement.
I can watch that at any time, and Dwight post-coital.
No, I didn't know that was coming, and you just spoiled it.
Oh, I did. I'm sorry.
Jeez, man. This is rough. They're going to delete this show from the archives. We'll take a break, come back with the final segment, maybe ever, of Balloon Party here on 101 ESPN. Munganess, St. Louis Acura, Munganess, Burkhardt Alton Toyota, the presenting sponsor of Balloon Party on 101 ESPN, and the place I go and have been going now for a number of years to get my family's cars. I think the world of the people there, ranging from Jamie Burkhardt, his name's on the dealership, Munganess, Burkhardt Alton Toyota, and Peter Munganess, names on the dealership. And in the service department, Ryan Seiberg is currently working on both my car and my wife's car from hail damage from Memorial Day weekend. And it's just nice to know in the automotive industry, we have a place to go that we don't think twice about doing business with them. It's just instantaneous. Great people, great service. What else can you ask for? Well, how about this? No money down, $589 a month for a 2024 Acura MDX Premium. When you let them know you are a listener to Balloon Party. That's right. It's at Munganess, St. Louis Acura, and Munganess, Burkhardt, Alton Toyota online. It's stlouisacura.com and altontoyota.com. Welcome back. Balloon Party 101 ESPN. 4 minutes left, Jackson. How are you going to optimize it? Because I only think we got to 2 questions of the Little Piddles, Wet Hot American Piddles.
Yeah, I didn't really come up with like a quick hitter by any means.
Well, go ahead, and I'll try to land the plane quickly.
Well, I've always pondered what really, like, what did I ask the dry cleaning question before? Because if not,
Dry cleaning question?
I just don't know what they do with dry cleaners. But that's
What are you doing, like a Seinfeld thing?
this is kind of like it was an observation deck thing, I guess.
Oh.
I just didn't. I was like, what? Like, you drop your shirts off. I don't know what happens next.
What in the hell this time? I'm starting to wonder if you're sabotaging this program. That's what I've decided is going on now. And the dry cleaning thing just absolutely clinched it.
I don't know. I don't know how they do it. How do you clean something with no water? I don't get it. Does it seem to you? I don't get it. Does it seem to you that for the most part, great players begin to descend quickly, or is it a slower process? And has that changed depending on the sport? Are there some examples of both here locally?
Huh. I like the question, and I understand. It's tough to ask that one at 10:57. Time check brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers. I think it's usually slow, which is why what's happened in particular with Arenado makes me wonder if there's more to it. You know what I mean?
Arenado's the one. Goldy is the one that is more shocking to me. Because he won MVP 2 years ago.
I know, but Arenado was in 3rd place, so it's not like he was just random.
Sure. But like Arenado will pop. I guess Goldy hit a homer yesterday, so I can't say much. But
Well, I mean, that's 1 home run.
Right, and it was a fastball. He has a little bit of
meaty.
He has a little bit of Pedro Serrano in him, where he'll hammer a fastball. But if you throw him a breaking pitch, he's got nothing. His whiff rate.
If you were watching the game, and I mean, that home run probably happened around 4:00 yesterday on a Monday after a 4-day weekend. So I realized I was not joined by many. But as that pitch came in, if I had a split second thought, I go, ooh. That's what I said. Ooh.
Yeah.
A belt high, 4-seamer.
Yeah. Saw it right out of the hand, lefty on righty.
Yeah.
That's a bad combo.
And it was right off the bat. Gone.
Yeah.
I just think it's usually, so that's why in the back of my mind, I hope, even though evidence is now almost a year long calendar-wise and 8 months long baseball-wise, but that, what we've seen in the Pittsburgh series and the Washington series can carry over for Arenado and Goldschmidt with the home run, as you made reference to yesterday. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. I would imagine football, to me, is the obvious one.
Yeah.
A running back.
Definitely.
I mean,
Definitely.
there was a segment playing yesterday on TMA all day. I was in our studio on 105.7 HD2, and we were talking about our fantasy football draft, and it was like 2018, and we were talking about guys I had forgotten about.
Yeah, man. Especially running backs.
And they were running backs.
Age like
drafting them, and it's just unbelievable. I mean, they're like the guys who were in the first round are out of football now.
I mean, think of Ezekiel Elliott.
It goes so quickly.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
oh my God. Adrian Peterson's like the one example of like a guy who can play for so long, even through injuries. That's what makes him so impressive.
So that to me is the obvious one.
Yeah. Basketball's a slow decline. You can still be super effective. Like baseball, you can be, Nolan Ryan became like better when he turned 40 somehow. Hockey, I can't speak to. Zdeno Chara seemed pretty good late into his career.
Nice. You watched a lot of Chara?
He played with his jaw wired shut.
He did. Do you know when that happened?
2019.
Nice. Look at this. See, all the people say you don't know the game.
Thank you.
Hear that.
I think I would rather fight a grizzly bear than fight Zdeno Chara.
How about that?
Yeah.
I think a lot of people who texted in today would like to see either one.
Yeah, it would go poorly either way.
Ladies and gentlemen, BK and Ferrario are coming up next. For Jackson Bennett Burkett, I'm Timothy Michael McKernan. This has been Balloon Party, driven by Munganess, St. Louis Acura, Munganess, Burkhardt, Alton Toyota on 101 ESPN and the 101 ESPN YouTube channel.